give me a color. So I can select black, a ton of different colors here, blue. Let's go with brown, why not? I can use this obviously as a locally in this preset or globally if I untick this. I'm going to click OK. So now you can see we've got the default state for this button is a beautiful brown color, as you can see on the Stream Deck. So that's the default color for that key now. Okay, so now we've got the default state for the button set up. We need to set a color for it when something changes on the button. So I'm going to click add. I could probably clone this, but I'm just going to go add again to show you again what we need to do is hold this down, click OK. And I need to select an event on which the color is going to change. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do it for the recording. So when we're recording, we're going to change the color of the key. Select Stream Deck, and let's pick a bright red color. We can use this locally or we can use this globally, it's up to you. Click OK. So now when I hit the record button down the bottom, it's going to go bright red. So it's going to go from brown to red. Now what I can also do is set up a shortcut on this key to start the recording. So I probably should have done this beforehand. So if I go to find start recording, where is it? So many shortcuts. Start recording on this button, and I'm just going to leave that all as normal. So when I press the button, it's going to start recording. Click OK. So when I press this button, it'll go from brown to red, and you'll notice the record down here in vMix will start. So there we go. That's how simple it is to set up the activators along with the shortcuts for a button in vMix. Okay, so thanks for joining us today. If you do have any questions about this, please drop us an email via the support page on vmix.com. It's really hard to answer technical questions on YouTube comments, so please send us an email via the support page. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.
Thanks for watching. Click to watch another exciting vMix video or head to vmix.com for a free 60-day trial. See you later.
G'day everyone, Timmy from vMix, and today we're going to take a look at the Elgato Stream Deck and how you can use it to produce your live streams and your live video productions. In vMix there are over 300 different shortcuts that can be programmed onto the keys, buttons and sliders of all different kinds of controllers. This means that you can program heaps of functions, including basic things like switching cameras and overlaying titles, all the way up to more advanced things like camera movement, updating scores, and controlling instant replay. So it's really easy to produce a show by adding shortcut keys to your favorite controllers. vMix has added support for things like keyboard and mouse, Xbox remotes, any MIDI controller, all of the X keys, and now the Elgato Stream Deck. G'day everyone, Timmy from vMix, and today we're going to take a look at the Elgato Stream Deck and how you can use it to produce your live streams and your live video productions. In vMix there are over 300 different shortcuts that can be programmed onto the keys, buttons and sliders of all different kinds of controllers. This means that you can program heaps of functions, including basic things like switching cameras and overlaying titles, all the way up to more advanced things like camera movement, updating scores, and controlling instant replay. So it's really easy to produce a show by adding shortcut keys to your favorite controllers. vMix has added support for things like keyboard and mouse, Xbox remotes, any MIDI controller, all of the X keys, and now the Elgato Stream Deck. So let's get to the important stuff first. What is the Elgato Stream Deck? Well, the Stream Deck is a USB controller that has programmable buttons. Much like a keyboard, when you press a button, it's going to perform a function. Now, one of the cool features about the Stream Deck is that it has LCD keys, so you're able to program custom displays on them. That can include text, colors, images, GIFs, or even your vMix live input previews for things like cameras, videos, and images. So this is what they look like. They currently have two models available, the Stream Deck, which has 15 keys, and the Stream Deck Mini, which has 6. Now you aren't limited to only these keys, as they offer folder support, which means that you can have multiple levels of keys. You can also add multiple Stream Decks to your PC to give you even more keys. Now in order to get up and running, you'll need to configure the Stream Deck by loading the Stream Deck software. Now you will need to make sure that you're using the latest version, as the vMix plugin support was added in version 4, so make sure you've got version 4 or later. Now also keep in mind that you will need vMix 22 for this functionality as well. So you may need to update to vMix 22. Now there are other ways to use the Stream Deck with vMix using different methods, roundabout ways, but this is going to be the officially supported method. So now we're going to go over to the Stream Deck software. Alright, so as you can see here, the Stream Deck reflects exactly what we've got on the actual Stream Deck itself. So the software here will reflect what happens on the device. So you got your 15 keys here, and you can drag everything from the right hand side onto the key so you can use it. Now in order to use the vMix plugin, you will just need to go to More Actions and then install vMix from here. Now once that's done, you'll be able to add shortcuts to your Stream Deck. Now if you've just opened up your Elgato Stream Deck, you will notice on the right hand side here you'll have a lot of different options available. I've just gone into this menu here and selected the vMix options and the Stream Deck options just to make it a little bit clearer, because I only use vMix and the Stream Deck stuff. That's one of the cool things about the Stream Decks, is you can use it across multiple different programs, but for ease of use I just selected vMix. So I'm just going to grab a shortcut and drop it onto a key. As you can see here, it is now added to the key. So we add a lot of them if we want to, like so. Just drag them on. Now what this is doing, it's giving vMix the ability to add a shortcut to that key on the Stream Deck. So that's all it's doing. Now underneath here I can select a title, so I'm just going to go to this top left one here. I can add some text to it, and then I can make changes to it. Now I'd probably watch the Elgato tutorials about how to use the Stream Deck, as it'll probably go into a lot more information than what I'm doing today. So that's adding text to it. Now the text that you add in the Stream Deck will kind of always show on that key. So no matter what you do in vMix, like if you use a thumbnail or something like that, or if you use the activators, it's always going to show this text, so keep that in mind. Now if you want to change what is on the button from the Stream Deck, you can select this here and select an image from File or create a new icon. Now that's if you don't want to use vMix thumbnails, if you want to add your own content from the Stream Deck. I'll show you how to do it from vMix a little bit later on. Alright, now another important thing is adding the folders. So I'm just going to show you how to add a folder. You just drag that create folder down, you can double click on it. You can add a shortcut here or wherever you want to. Didn't drag that properly, there we go. And then I can create another shortcut if I want to, double click on that. And as you can see on the Stream Deck, it's now got multiple levels of keys that I can use in my production. Now another important thing is the profile. So if you are creating a profile for a specific vMix preset, make sure that you name it and you always use that one. So I'm going to edit profile. I'm just going to change this one to vMix. So I've just given it a name here, so I know that this vMix one is associated with this tutorial. Now when you have a profile here, the buttons have a customized number based on each button in each profile. So if you make changes and you move things around in vMix or use a different profile, it's not going to work. You need to make sure that you're using the same profile with the same preset in vMix so the numbers match up. Okay, so now we've got some buttons set up. I'm going to add some more. Fast forward this probably. And now we're going to go back to vMix. Alright, now I'm going to show you how to set up shortcuts in vMix. Now if you're not quite familiar with shortcuts and how they work, it's probably best to watch our shortcut video or check out some of the videos on our YouTube channel. Now all I need to do is go to Settings in the top right hand corner and then go to Shortcuts. Now I'm just going to remove these ones that I've set up previously, and I'm going to show you how to set up a new shortcut. So you just need to go to, I'm going to select Add here, and then I need to, up the top here, find the key. So I'm just going to press this one in the top left hand corner. Now you notice that I can press it down, it's got a down action and an up action. Now typically if you're going to use something for cameras or something you want to happen instantly, I like to press it down. That way as soon as you press it, it's going to fire off. So I'm going to click that there. Now you might have some other instances where up might be better for you, but usually I'm going to select down action. Now you will notice again, I'll just try this again. You notice that there's this string of letters and numbers here. So those are very specific to the profile that you've created on the Elgato Stream Deck. So if you created a new profile and tried to use that in vMix, it's not going to match up. So just make sure that you save the profile for the preset. And we'll go OK. We'll press down. All right, so now we've got the function. So the function, we've got 300 different functions that are available in vMix shortcuts. So we need to select one that we want to use. So I'm just going to select a simple fade. I'm going to go half a second for that fade, and then I'm going to choose what input I'm going to use. Now, just to make it easy, I'm just going to select the preview, which means that it's going to, on the button press, it's going to fade from the preview to the program. I can give a title here. I can just call this fade. I can give it a description if I wanted to. I can assign the shortcut to an input number if I wanted to. Now, underneath here is probably the more important thing, and the display. So you can set it to default, which will default back to what the Stream Deck is doing, so what you've set up in the Stream Deck, so that whether you've set an image there or something, or you can set it to thumbnail. Thumbnail will show you what's on the input preview. So whatever you've got showing in your inputs in vMix, that's what it's going to display in the thumbnail. Underneath that, we can set a local shortcut. So if you've got a vMix preset for specific shows and you only want them for the show, you can tick this here. If you want it global, you can leave it unticked. And you can choose to show it in the web controller or not. Now you'll notice that now I've got the preview in the button. So for things like videos and things that move like cameras, it's only going to show a few frames a second, but it will give you an idea of what's being displayed for that shortcut key in the thumbnail. Okay, so now if I press this button, what's going to happen is it's going to transition from the preview to the program. And then because my camera will now be in the preview, it will actually switch on the key to show you my camera. So I'm going to press that now. As you can see, it's faded across, and now I've got my camera because that's now in the preview. So that's how simple it is to set up a shortcut. You just use one of the keys that you've selected in the Stream Deck software and then assign a shortcut to it. Fairly straightforward. Okay, so I've just gone through and added another video file to this production. It's just called NAB intro, and I've added a new shortcut for it. So gone in here, I've added a new shortcut for the NAB intro video. Now I've set it as a thumbnail, as you can see down here. I've set the thumbnail. Now you'll notice that it's black. And so sometimes when you have video files, you might have, a blank or black frame at the start, and you might not be able to distinguish what it is based on the key. So you can see here, it's just black. I don't know what it is. So that's why it comes in handy sometimes to add text here if you need to, or add a custom add a custom image here. G'day everyone, Timmy. Live video productions. In vMix, there are over 300 different shortcuts that can be programmed onto the keys, buttons, and sliders of all different kinds of controllers. This means that you can program heaps of functions, including basic things like switching cameras and overlaying titles, all the way up to more advanced things like camera movement, updating scores, and controlling instant replay. So it's really easy to produce a show by adding shortcut keys to your favorite controllers. vMix has added some Xbox remotes, any MIDI controller, all of the X keys, and now the Elgato Stream Deck. So let's get to the important stuff first. What is the Elgato Stream Deck? Well, the Stream Deck is a